Guys and girls, welcome back to Poormans Bushcraft. Some money saving ideas for you. Every one of these products you could go out and buy brand new and pay top dollar for, but why? When you can hit flea markets, yard sales, garage sales, rummage sales, Craigslist, you name it, there's always a cheaper way out there to find this stuff. Just the other day I picked this one up at the flea market. It has a little broken tab, no big deal, one's still there. So we have, for about $5, we got the older U.S. Army military general purpose first aid kit. You guys correct me if I'm wrong as far as whether these were just Army, if they were Marines, but hard plastic box, kind of in the Pelican case style. It has the rubber seal around this edge, or had. No, it's right here, sorry. It's right here in the box. But I actually found this one kind of chocked full of stuff. The surprising thing that I might add to my Condor rip-away pouch, or the IFAC that I showed you in the last video, was this piece right here. And it actually is a full kit for eye first aid. I'm assuming there's some kind of drops in there, some patches, some tape, but something that we don't normally think about in our first aid kits is our eyes. So maybe, you know, even if you just kind of round up something from, you know, the pharmacy or Walmart or something like that, supplement your first aid kits with something for eyes. See, what else do we have in here? Being out of its plastic, it's probably non-sterile now, but I guess in a bad situation I would rather have this as nothing. But we have one of the old combat bandages. Actually, there's 3 of them in here. Make that 4, so there was 4 combat bandages. There's a smaller version of a combat bandage, and this is just basically, you know, I opened up one of these and looked at it. It's just that long, really thin brown material, and has about a 2x2 piece of gauze sewn to it. So non-life threatening injury right there. We got about 3 or 4 of those in there. Some alcohol prep pads, and then we have no idea whether these are any good or not, but there you go. Some good old-fashioned ammonia smelling salts. So for $5, you know, a great flea market find, and was really happy to have found that one. Something else we can get into as far as flea market finds, yard sale finds, and stuff like that is stuff like that trap, and then this little Fulton hammer axe. These were super rust coated, you know, old garage finds. I set them in apple cider vinegar. Basically that was one day, 24 hours. Your time in may vary as far as depending on the rust and stuff, but that is a Blake & Lamb #1. These were in a box deal of a bunch of tools that I bought, so we're going to call these freebies. I was buying tools and those were just happened to be in there. So freebies there. Something else that you might consider, if you're not wanting to go too stealthy and full tactical as far as shelter, pick that up at a yard sale for $5. That's 2-person dome tent. Even if I decided not to use the tent itself, the fiberglass poles are in there. I can use those in conjunction with my USGI poncho and make, you know, like a little bitty tent. So $5 for that. If you wanted to, I don't know if you guys can really see the color on this, but it's blue and a gray color. Hobby Lobby sells RIT dye for synthetic materials. So all these videos that you're seeing about adding vinegar to do this and do that and using RIT dye and not getting a good color, RIT dye does actually sell a dye. Found it at Hobby Lobby again, like I said, for synthetic materials, which means nylon. You could throw, being that this is blue, you could probably go with a beige and come out with some dark green. So bonus. What else do we got? We've got camo netting, a small portion of it here, just to show you. Yard sales and flea markets. You probably have more luck finding this stuff online, but if you check surplus stores online, like say Fort Bragg Surplus, or whatever your local surplus store is, some camouflage netting. These pieces right here I did pick up at the flea market, and they are not big pieces. However, on a pack that is not camouflage, if you're going gray man, you can put this stuff in your pack and later on drape it over your pack or attach it to your pack and camouflage up and help yourself blend in and hide. Next money saver for this week, excuse me, drop my can. Camouflage hunting stuff. This one was a freebie. I'd like to thank my neighbor for giving me this one. Something else. What do we got here? Okay, more yard sale finds for toting gear, or let's go back to the netting. For camouflaging your stuff. We've all seen this stuff at sporting goods stores, Gander Mountain, Walmart, wherever. It's just that real thin, no seam netting that's done in whatever pattern. This one happens to be Realtree. So another option for camouflaging up a little bit more, hiding your equipment. Well, we have face mask. But what I really wanted to kind of show you guys was for flea market finds and pouches and stuff. Find stuff like this at yard sales. These little hunting pouches. I have found several of these, and a couple of the mossy oak or Realtree, just whatever they are. Got belt loops on them. So it's an alternative to military surplus, or in the cases of if you don't want to go military, you want to look more like a hunter out in the woods and still be somewhat tactical. These are options, and for a buck or two a piece at a yard sale, a flea market, or whatever, great little things. That one has a belt on it. We got another one here that somebody just put a piece of nylon rope through. A alternative for pouches and stuff that I came up with, and I'm sure somebody else has already came up with this, so I'm not taking credit for it, but is if you have old military clothing, i.e. BDUs or ACUs or something like that are kind of beyond repair, if you're taking material off of them, you can cut the pockets completely out from the leg, and they become pockets themselves or pouches themselves. As far as if you wanted to put this inside your pack and have a certain amount of equipment in this and then just stow it in your pack, you could go further and put some grommets or so belt loops on the back of it, and you can go anywhere you want to go with these. For me, it was save the pockets and make little pouches out of them so that I can secure smaller stuff to go down in my pack. So there's another money saving idea for today. The last yard sale find I have for you guys today is one I've been looking for online, and the cheapest I found them online excuse me, is about $12 to $13. However, I found this one at a yard sale in a small town, and $3. $3 for a U.S. Army issue old blanket. The key to these are, as soon as you get these, for me, it was to wash it. Filled the bathtub up with about 3 or 4 inches of lukewarm water. Took shampoo. And shampoo, because this is a natural fiber such as wool hair, so to speak, or sheep's hair. So a baby shampoo or something in that line, you know, a mild shampoo. Get this down in there and just, you know, move it around. Don't crunch it up. Don't squeeze it. Don't, you know, twist it or nothing like that. Just get it down in there and move it around. You'll have to do it 2 or 3 times because some of these old blankets ain't been washed in 40 years. So that's a lot of dirt. When I got this one, it almost looked like a wool suit. It was so smooth with all the oils and dirt that was in it. And I had to wash this one 5 times just to get it to where I'm at now. Very carefully, very gently. Wring it out the best you can without, you know, twisting it or crunching it up, and then take it out and put it in the sun. And you can't really see this or not, but the fibers actually raised back up in this wool, which I was really impressed with. But for $3, quality may vary when you order these online, so do be careful. This one was yard sale find, so the 8 or 10 little bitty pinholes that I found in it, I was not concerned about. It did not hurt my feelings. This may be turned into the wool hoodie type thing that everybody makes online, because I'm kind of liking the, you know, I'm impressed with those. I said that was the last thing, but I lied. One more thing. Finding at yard sales and stuff. Walkie-talkies and everything are great, but a lot of walkie-talkies, you can't listen to what's really going on. And if there's a situation where radios and shortwave radios, ham radios, fire rescue, anything like that is still viable in your area, but you still had to bug out, something like this. This is the Bearcat or Uniden Bearcat 30 channel. You can still, in a lot of places, you can still pick up fire rescue, emergency management, civil defense. There are websites that are saying you can pick up civil air patrol and some other things. I don't know if that's necessarily true. In my area, I can still pick up fire rescue, emergency management, and civil defense with these. What you want to do is, when you get one of these, if you find one of these at a yard sale or something, go online while you still can, find your local area and areas that you may be bugging out to, and get the codes and the programming instructions for whichever kind of these you get. This one being an older one, I've had these before. I remembered how to program them. This one's pretty simple. You just, you know, you hit manual, you'll hit the first 3 numbers, the dot, the last 3 numbers, and enter, and then you'll hit manual. It'll go to the next one and then program the next code. Law enforcement, and this may vary from state to state, but in the state I'm in, there is a government entity that runs all law enforcement dispatching, and you cannot pick law enforcement up on these anymore. They are in some digital 9,000 bracket something, you know, whatever it is. I'm exaggerating there, but law enforcement is no longer viable for these in my state. Fire and rescue dispatches are still very much through these. Ambulance, so your EMS, fire, emergency management, civil defense, and CBs can be picked up on these as well. Actually, when I was looking at this the other day, so you can get to the 10 meter band on this, so you can listen to a 10 meter band, a low band, 8 meter ham, military, which I doubt is accurate anymore. That's all digital and encrypted now. 2 meter ham, high band, federal government. I tend to believe that might not be necessarily true. But you know, these come back from the 80s and stuff, you know, late 80s, 90s. So that might have been true back then, but not so much now. You're on the 70 centimeter band, UHF, and T-bands. So you still have a very wide market of information out there to you with a scanner. So that's something you might consider. And what did I get this one for? I got this one for, with charger, $5 at a yard sale. So there you go. I mean, just some ideas for your preps, bug outs, and whatevers. You don't have to spend the big money. Check out your yard sales. You know, a lot of people say, I never go to yard sales. Well, you know, you're missing out on stuff that, you know, could be potential, you know, for another $4 or $5 a handle. I'm in a hatchet. You know, I've got pouches, I've got blankets, I've got communications, or at least the opportunity to listen to communications here, compiled with, you know, the freebie stuff that you can do yourself by taking your old gear and repurposing it into something else. How can you not win? What's the old saying? Work smarter, not harder, and spend less and get just as good quality. All right, thanks you guys for watching. Next video, we will probably be discussing that little story that I told you about, the tent poles and the USGI poncho. So look forward to that one. And if not that one, please stay tuned. We'll catch you guys on the next vid. Thanks for watching.